A shocking comparison in weight, build, size, and performance. The Acer Predator Triton 500 versus the 16-inch MacBook Pro, coming at you right now. If you're new to the channel, my name is Benji Kaiser. This is where you're gonna find the best tech and tools for creative professionals. So if that sounds like your kind of place, consider subscribing and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Also, if you're curious about the exact specs or pricing of each of these models as we're going through this video, you can head down in the description below and click one of those links. Now, if you do use that link to make a purchase, I will get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. So right now we're looking at the Acer Predator Triton 500 versus the 16-inch MacBook Pro, a semi-shocking comparison, but as I dive into this video, you'll see how well matched these two laptops are and which one is the right buy for you. Both computers have all aluminum casings and they're similar in weight and size. The Acer Predator Triton 500 actually only weighs about 0.4 pounds more than the MacBook Pro. Now, the MacBook Pro is going to win on the user experience as far as the audio is concerned. It's got a lot better speakers coming out of the keyboard deck. It actually has two speakers on each side of the keyboard deck, which really creates a nice surround sound experience. Whereas the Triton 500, the speakers are set up underneath the computer, so it really doesn't have that vivid audio experience. Now, both laptops are gonna have really nice sharp screens, except the MacBook Pro is gonna be far more color accurate. The MacBook Pro has a 100% sRGB, 100% Adobe RGB, and 100% DCI P3 color accuracy, whereas the Acer Predator Triton 500 has 97% sRGB, 75% Adobe RGB, and 76% DCI P3 color accuracy. The Triton 500 is gonna have more options for ports. You're gonna have 3 USB 3.0 slots, a Thunderbolt port, an HDMI port, a network port, as well as a headphone / mic jack. Whereas on the MacBook Pro, you're gonna have those 4 Thunderbolt ports and 1 headphone / mic jack. Now, with a dongle, you can get a lot more ports coming out of the side of the MacBook Pro, but built into the laptop, the Triton 500 is going to be our winner there. Now, battery life. The Triton 500 is going to average around 4 hours of battery life doing graphic design tasks, video editing, or editing photos, whereas the MacBook Pro 16 is going to average around 8 hours of battery. Depending on how hard you're using these machines, that battery will vary a little bit. So a win for the MacBook Pro there as well. All right, now looking at the specs. So the model that I tested comes with the Intel 8th Gen i7-8750H processor, but you can get a newer model currently, which is the i7-9750H processor, so it's going to be a little bit faster. It has 16 gigs of RAM, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 graphics processing unit, and 512 gigs of solid-state hard drive, whereas the MacBook Pro has the latest 9th Gen i7-9750H processor, 16 gigs of RAM, the AMD Radeon Pro 5300M, and 512 gigs of solid-state hard drive. So in order to really put these laptops head to head, I'm going to do my standard 4K video editing test. So I'm going to take a 9-minute 4K clip, put it into Premiere Pro, run it in the timeline, and then export it out at full quality 4K YouTube settings. Now, the Triton 500 can do this at below 40 decibels in 8 minutes and 25 seconds, whereas the MacBook Pro can do the same export in 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Now, if I overclock the Triton 500, I can get this export down to 6 minutes and 18 seconds, getting us a little bit closer to that export time. And remember, this Triton 500 that I'm using has the 8th Gen i7-8750H processor. So with that newer processor, you're gonna get an even faster export time. Unfortunately, my model does not have that processor. Okay, so let's say we wanna save a little bit of time, export out to 1080p. The Triton 500 can do that in 2 minutes and 27 seconds, and the MacBook Pro can do that export in 1 minute and 39 seconds. So not much faster than the Triton 500, but still a little bit. Now, both laptops did excellent in the playback inside of Premiere Pro, so they can both play back that 4K clip at full quality settings in the timeline. So whenever you're editing, the playback will be nice and smooth. So if you're a graphic designer, video editor, or a photographer, the MacBook Pro is gonna be a little bit faster, but honestly, for the amount of money that you save, this all aluminum Triton 500 is a fantastic buy. So if you're somebody who enjoys the Windows OS, you're on a bit of a budget, then the Triton 500 will actually be a really good buy with very little performance difference as you see from the tests. Again, if you're curious about the exact specs or pricing of either of these models, you can head down in the description below and click one of those links. And if you do make a purchase, I will get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. And I'm very grateful for y'all to use those links. I'm Benji Kaiser of BenjiKaiser.com, and I'll see you guys here on the next episode.